Now enjoy the show, The Voice 17104, a station for everyone.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the all-new Ron Chapel Show. We come to you from Harrisburg, PA. Now let's go straight to our street reporter, Khaldoun Rashid. Good afternoon, Khaldoun. Are you there?
Hey, good afternoon, and greeting everybody out there in the listening audience, and to you, Pastor Chris Thomas. Are you ready?
We're ready, sir.
The Harrisburg, Pennsylvania State Museum is closing down for about 3 years for renovations that are starting in 2026. The museum business market here in Harrisburg only employs about 10 employees, believe it or not. And it's not clear at this time if or how many jobs will still be available when reconstruction begins. Now, new businesses opening in Harrisburg Soma District. Soma is a word that comes from its roots meaning to energize, stimulate, expand, grow. The Soma District, for those of you who don't know, is the 3rd Street area and Chestnut Street downtown. The specialty product sold is an exotic juice from a plant of disputed identity, which in ancient Indian times is thought to give you immortality. As you already know, the Harrisburg Mall is being demolished, but at least one business is still in operation. Second and Charles in Harrisburg is currently located at 3405 Paxton Street in the former Toys R Us building across from the Dauphin County Prisons. This is a temporary location, as they will eventually be moving to a new-to-be-built building next to the Bass Pro Shops, over there by Sheets on Paxton Street. Nothing's going to happen until early next year in 2026. Walmart has a telephone for the blind. The Braille phone has fast become one of the best items being sold to the visually impaired, costing now under $30. Smartphones for the blind have been recently upgraded to meet the needs of our handicapped community, making them now more handy-capable. Johnson Plumbing and Excavation LLC has been serving here in Harrisburg now for a little over 3 years. Even though the competition is strong, this small business has proven themselves to be available 24 hours a day. They reply typically within an hour, and Johnson Plumbing and Excavation continuously passes their license checks, background checks, and never lapses in their business insurance, and has become a major company serving us here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Johnson Plumbing Excavation. I give them a 5-star review for professionalism, honesty, and reliability. And they're a definite asset to our community. Last but not least, Wise Markets has begun its store renovation projects in Dauphin County. After a year of waiting, Phase 2 has come. A new gas and grocery store, while an expansion of the main store is also in the works. It's not known exactly when the Wise Markets on Union Deposit Road construction will begin because the Lingelstown Road has begun first. And that's this week's Street Report for the all-new Ron Chapel Show. I'm Khaldoun Rashid, giving you the scoop. And now, back to you, Ron Chapel and Pastor Chris Thomas.
Thank you, Khaldoun Scoop Rashid. Thank you for your very fine report. And now for community announcements, Pastor Chris Thomas.
That's what's up. Always a fine report from Khaldoun Rashid. A great scoop on what's going on in the Harrisburg area. Thank you, Ron. Again, if you want to be a guest, if you have products, services in the Harrisburg or surrounding areas, again, the Ron Chapel Show, again, is the destination, again, to reach your target audience. Again, reach out to Brother Ron or reach out to myself, again, for more information. Got a few other announcements here I found very interesting. You heard of a cookout, Ron. How about a cook-in, my brother? Okay. Oh, the coolest vibe in town, the 90s cook-in. Yes, sir. Again, that's going on at 6601 Evelyn Road in Harrisburg. That's Thursday, July 3rd, right around on our heels here, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is how it's going down. Food that hits, barbecue sides, adult games, open discussion, and much, much more. No bugs, no bad weather, just good food, good conversation, and the real ones only need to show up. More information, again, reach out to them there at that 90s Cook-In, 6601 Evelyn Road here in Harrisburg, PA. Let's see what else we got here real quick, Ron. The new Crawdaddies, I'm sure you're familiar with that place. They're presenting a night of comedy, again, featuring Sean Harvey and also Malcolm Hill. Again, that's at the new Crawdaddies, 1500 North 6th Street in Harrisburg. That's July the 11th. Showtime at 7 p.m. and the doors open at 5. More information, reach out to the brand new Crawdaddies. And last but not least, Ron, let's see what we got here, bro. Last but not least, free, again I said free, you heard right, free environmental technical training July 28th through September 19th, and that's brought to the Harrisburg and surrounding areas, I believe in the Carlisle area, by the Employment Skills Center. More information, space is limited, you're encouraged to apply now. And again, that's at the Employment Skills Center. You can look them up online at 29 South Hanover Street in Carlisle. And again, Ron, that brings to close our community announcements here on the all-new Ron Chappell Show.
Thank you, Pastor Chris Thomas. And you had mentioned about contacting us if someone wants to advertise or be a guest on the program. And folks, I'll say it again, it's always better if you try to contact me to call me direct, because I am not one that have my phone as readily as a lot of you. And you know how people, some folks, Chris, can take their phone and be looking over here and their fingers are just tapping away.
Sure.
I can't do that.
Understood, bro.
I can't do that. I'm a hunt and peck typist at best. And so Therefore, if you want to contact me, I'll give you my number. It is 717-565-0028. You may send me a message, and I may not even see that message for about a week and sometime longer when I happen to be perusing through my messages. And so it's always best to contact direct. And so I'll say that in case some of you have messaged me before and wonder why it took so long for me to respond. But indeed, if you do want to be a guest on the program, just please contact me or please contact the station. And that number again is 717-889-7181. Okay, this will probably be a short program today, an extra short program. We were expecting Mr. Lamont Jones to be a guest on today's program. We last spoke, excuse me, a couple of weeks ago. Pardon me, please. Okay, thank you. We really haven't been in contact since then, and so if he show up, we'll have a nice little talk, and we give you an opportunity to call in and speak with him. But if he doesn't, well then, as I say, the program will be ending most Scotian Japanese for quick, fast, and in a hurry. We just wanted to keep our agreement here and make sure that we showed up. We showed up for this broadcast. Well, if there's anything that y'all want to talk about, please feel free to give us a call. The number is 717-889-7181. If you have any complaints, this is your time to sound off. You know, we have a forum here for you to sound off about any of your concerns as a resident of Harrisburg. Chris, were you about to say something, sir?
Oh, no, sir. Not yet. No, sir.
Okay. Well, summer is here, y'all. Summer is here upon us. So do you have plans for this summer? Do you plan on taking any trips? Do you plan on doing any improvements to your yard? Or have you, are you not catching up with your spring cleaning and your dwelling? Well, you know, a lot of you just a few months ago were complaining about how cold it was. And so do you have anything to say now about this hot, humid weather. Well, so if you want to call in, hey, listen, what are your views about the war that's going on? It only lasted for 12 days, it seemed, but I don't know if it's completely over between Israel and Iran. Do you have any views about that? Do you have any fear? Okay, I believe we may have a call coming in now. Is that a call, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hi, you're on the Ron Chapel Show. Who are we speaking with?
Marguerite Johnson.
Hello, Miss Johnson.
Hi.
And you have a comment?
I'm calling because I'm just calling because I'm concerned about Harrisburg City and the racism that's going on around here.
Oh yeah,
It's quite a bit of it, and it has to do with the police. The police, some of them are racist. I'm not saying all of them, but some of them are racist. And the Cameron Street Auto Shop down there is racist. I think the Ku Klux Klan. So I'm warning people.
Yeah, where's that location?
Pardon me?
Did you say the Cameron Street Auto Shop?
Yes, because they called a young boy down there that got his car towed down there, and they called him a nigger.
Oh my.
And they was called because I had my car towed down there, and they called me all kind of liars, and said I was a big liar and everything.
Where is that place located at?
Pardon me?
Where is it located at?
Cameron and Paxton Street, right there on Cameron Street.
Okay.
There's a towing company.
Okay.
It's called the Cameron Towing Company. They're towing people away, and they're very ignorant.
Wow.
When they called that boy a nigger down there, I said,
Oh my.
Oh, I could not believe it. And how they treated me when they took my vehicle. So people need to watch out and be concerned about what's going on in the city with the racism. And I'm not saying everybody's racist, but it's just certain ones. Be careful. Have a pleasant day.
Okay, ma'am. Can I ask you a question? Miss Johnson?
She hung up.
Okay, Miss Johnson, if you're still listening, it's unfortunate. I feel bad about what happened with you, how you were treated at that place. And I believe you do have the ability to file a police report of harassment of a senior citizen at that. I think I know you. I think that you're a senior citizen, and I would bring that up to the police department, and also maybe go down to the city council meeting. I believe they have those on Tuesday at 6 o'clock, Chris.
Yes, sir. I believe you're right.
Where you can participate in the public participation portion of the meeting, where you can express that before city council. And I'm pretty sure some of the city fathers will hear that and take note and move forward with some action. It's very, very unfortunate that you had that situation. Speaking of the Harrisburg Police Department, and I know that there's been a lot of complaints from a lot of residents about mistreatment from some of these police officers who right now, for the most part, I believe are non-residents of Harrisburg. I don't know how well they can interact and identify with the majority of the residents here in Harrisburg. There may be some communication problem, but anyway, on this occasion, I'm going to have to take time to salute one particular Harrisburg police officer, and that's Officer Bennett. If some of you have been following my Facebook page, which I'll probably write about this later on today, but I had mentioned that I took a Uber ride Sunday, and that when the Uber driver picked me up from the Amtrak station downtown, we got about 4 doors down from my home, and I asked him if it was okay for me to run into the store right quick, which of course, if I ever do that, I always give them an extra tip. And so he said yes. So I go in the store, I'm the only customer, I wasn't there for 2 minutes. I come out of the store and he's gone. he's gone. He drove away, and driving away, he also had luggage of mine that he knew was in the car because he's the one that put it in the trunk of his vehicle. Well, he drove away, and so I went through the efforts of trying to contact Uber. If this ever happens to you, well, then I want you to know that there's no longer any way for you to speak directly with the Uber company. They have that chat system, Pastor Thomas.
Yes, sir.
You know, where you log in, and then you go to this link and that link. And for some reason, it kept kicking me out. I had someone else that tried to do that. So just to show that it wasn't any of my ineptness, and they kept kicking them out also, and so we never really could get in contact with Uber to have them to contact their driver so it could return my property. Well, what I eventually did, I went into the Uber app and I looked at my trips, you know, for the past few days, and specifically the trip that brought me there. They had the time and everything that I was picked up, the time that I was dropped off, and they had some information about the driver. They had his name and his license plate number, Chris,
Okay.
and also the make of his vehicle.
Wow.
So I immediately contacted the police department, and the officer came out, Officer Bennett. He was very, very understandable, patient, and very helpful. And he took down the information that I had. No, he gave me his number, Pastor Thomas.
Okay.
Because he could not find the driver through the Uber system. And so later on that evening, I was able to locate the driver's name and his plate number, and I sent that information to the officer, who happened to have been on not leave, but his days off. He had a couple of days off, you know, in between that time, Pastor Thomas.
Sure.
And so, but anyway, to make a long story short, he received the information, and this morning he came into my home, rung the bell, and he had all of my property.
Wow.
All of my property.
Wow.
Everything was intact.
Wow.
Everything was intact. You know, I had said in that initial post that the driver, I believe, was African immigrant, and that I was going to press charges and also contact Homeland Security and try to get him deported. Well, when the officer returned my property this morning, you know, he explained to me, he said he'd think that there was just a communication problem between me and the driver. He said because when he went to the home, he found out that they were all Somali, Pastor Thomas.
Sure.
And no one really spoke English. No, you know, they struggled at broken English, and that the driver may have assumed that once they got out of the vehicle that the trip was over, and so that's why he drove away. And I can kind of understand that now. So of course, I don't feel the same way I did when I found out that my property was taken, and so I'm not pursuing any further action on that driver, because, as I say, all of my stuff, my bag, you know, what I had in there, the keys, everything was all intact and looked like it had been undisturbed. And so, anyway, so I want to take the time, as I say, to salute the Harrisburg Police Department, that particular officer, Officer Bennett. I don't have his badge number to highlight, to recognize him, but I just want to publicly say thank you. Thank you for the fine work that you did. And that just showed me, Pastor Thomas,
Sure.
there are some caring
Yes,
officers
sir.
out there with the Harrisburg Police Department.
Wow.
And so I experienced the actions of one in this past situation. Okay, Pastor Thomas, you got any comments before we close out the program?
No, that's encouraging, man. You know, in a world seemingly full of lies, deceit, and deception, that there are still some good people to be found. And that gives hope and inspires us all. So thank you so much for sharing that real life testimony and experience. When you talk about the sound off portion of the show, recently I went back to a place I haven't been probably since maybe 8, 9, 10 years. I'm sure you may be familiar with it. A place called Gifford State Park.
No.
Okay, well, it's a state park. And it's around the Lewisberry area, so it's very close and convenient. I used to go all the time when we were kids. They don't have a public pool, but they have public swimming there in the river. I believe that's a river there. I may be mistaken on that, but you can swim there on location. But the unfortunate part about it, they said there were some kind of what was in the water? Algae, some kind of poisonous algae that was in the water. And they were still, I guess they were monitoring it, but they were still allowing people to swim there. But that wasn't my concern. My concern was the duck distribution, if I could say that politely. That as soon as you go into the swimming area, you have to cross all these wonderful, not so wonderful duck excretions.
Oh.
And that was a big turnoff. I mean, we were about to get in. It was a hot day. And I know, that I know they're short staffed, so I'm not trying to, point the finger. But it's probably something that before you open a public, because I'm sure there are some employees there at that state park, and I'm not sure how the state parks are funded. But it's just something I think they should be a little more mindful of. There are several different gates that you can enter into the water. You can't see the bottom of it. I mean, it's mucky, it's murky. But for free, you don't expect, the Taj Mahal. But you still want to have a pleasant experience. You shouldn't have to walk through duck poop, if I could say that, to get to the swimming area. So we had to walk down probably 2, 3 more gates where there wasn't as much duck poop. It was like a minefield of just droplets everywhere. I mean, I was going to kind of manage through it, but my wife, it was a quick turn off for her and the babies as well. But we did find an area to get in, and we had a pretty decent time. Again, for low budget, no budget, it's a great getaway, but I just think they should be a little bit more mindful and have someone, kind of at least once in the morning and maybe once around lunchtime, just come through and monitor that area, because that's not a good presentation when you talk about public swimming at a public park. So that's just my 2 cents on, and I'm not sure where they get their funding from and how much, they may be understaffed. So I'm not pointing the finger because I don't know the total situation, but I know the experience we experienced, bro.
Okay, did you bring it up to management?
No. I saw one park ranger, and he was,
okay.
so nice.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was nice, and I didn't want to. I mean, it's free, but I think it should be a little bit more maintained to be a public park, and then for you to offer swimming. Now, I can see if you didn't offer swimming, I mean, that goes with a public park. Ducks, doing what ducks do out in the wild.
Right.
But when you combine public swimming with the wildlife, I just think someone should be a little bit more mindful, or there should be some signs: watch your step, or proceed at your own risk. Something to kind of let you know that you need to be a little bit more aware, because I think the day almost would have been ruined if you'd have went through one of them gates and stepped in some of them lovely puddles versus being proactive and seeing them, fortunately, and going down a couple more gates where you can enter in safely. So no, I didn't register that complaint. Again, for free. I didn't want to, raise too much fuss. I probably could have dropped if they had a suggestion box, that probably would have been something I would have dropped in the suggestion box.
Okay. Thanks for letting everybody know about that. And also a salute again to the YPOC, Young Professionals of Color, for the Juneteenth celebration and commemoration that they put on. I know it was very, very warmly received. People had a good time. I happened to visit the Jubilee, Pastor Thomas. That
Okay.
was downtown behind the state capitol. I did make a little live video about it. And I tell you, there was a lot of people down there. They had music, they had food, there was a lot of fun. And so that went on quite well. I haven't seen a report. I wasn't able to make it to the Soma event that they had down on 3rd Street, but I did see some pictures and it looked like it was well attended also. And so, and I don't know about the Jadakiss concert. I wasn't here when they had the. Did you happen to go by the Jadakiss concert?
No, but I did see pictures, and it was standing room only. I heard nothing but good reports. I wasn't there, but from the pictures and from the organizers of the event, I believe it was very successful.
Okay, well, job well done. Job well done, YOPC. And I'm sure that some of you out there may be interested in being a part of the YOPC organization. And I believe they do have a Facebook page, Pastor Thomas. And would you happen to know their website?
I believe the website is ypoc.org, and the Facebook page is Young Professionals of Color / Greater Harrisburg, bro.
Okay. Thanks for the information. And so we're going to close out now. I want to thank.
Real quick, Ron.
Yes,
I think
sir,
I have something
indeed.
here I think would be just very beneficial for the Harrisburg area to see. Just a snippet, and I hope we don't get a copyright on that. A snippet of the Juneteenth celebration downtown Harrisburg. You got a second for that clip, Ron?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Looks like a summer event right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That may be the Soma event. So that's just a little snippet of some of the festivities in the Harrisburg area. Again, hats off to YPOC in the Harrisburg area and all those involved to make that a success for the residents and the city of Harrisburg. Big shout out to you guys.
Big shout out and fantastic work, y'all. Fantastic work. And now, Chris, hopefully we can look forward to some events at Reservoir Park.
There are some events at Reservoir Park,
big,
Ron.
Beautiful band shell.
Yeah. I don't remember where I saw that. I just saw it last night. There's a whole music series coming up in the park, July and August. I probably won't be able to find that announcement on the fly, but I'll try to find it. If we're on the air on next week. There is summer festivities always up at the band shell in Reservoir Park. I think there's a Spanish festival or a Latino festival going on. Also, I believe the mayor is sponsoring some kind of youth auditioning for talent. And that's in July as well. I think July 3rd or 4th. I'm going to have to find that announcement. Then there's a gospel choir. There's a gospel day, a church day. And I think your friend or our friend, Micaiah Brown, is having a big event at the band shell this coming weekend. I forgot the name of that event. Maybe you have to reach out to him. I wish he was, listening. If you're listening, Micaiah, feel free to give us a call. Tell us about that event this coming Saturday. But again, there's a whole weekend or 2 weeks of events coming up in July and August, so make sure you stay tuned in. And if we get that announcement, we'll make sure we pass the news, bro.
Okay, Micaiah, in case you're not listening, when you see the video, when you see the replay, please include that information in the comment section so everybody can see that. And please let us know. Please give us at least a week.
And I have it here, Ron, if you want me
Okay,
to share the Micaiah event. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Kind of working reactive, not proactive today. Central Pennsylvania African American Black History and Cultural Festival 2025. It's a free music festival. That's June 28th. Again, this coming Saturday. Live performances. DJ Basil, Shantae White, and more. Over 30 vendors and churches. And again, that's going on at 100 Concert Drive in Harrisburg, PA. Again, more information. Again, reach out to Micaiah Brown.
Okay. Well, that tell me that's going to be. I think that's going to be pretty well attended also, because they have Shantae White also being featured, and she's the queen of podcast here in Harrisburg, PA, and I'm pretty sure she's been getting the word out, especially during her What It Do Wednesday broadcast, and so that should be very well attended, and that's on the 28th, which I believe is Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Saturday.
Yes, sir. And I do have the summer series for the Reservoir Park Band Show. If you want to just recap that real quick.
Yeah. We can do that quickly because we're about to close.
Sure, understood. July, it starts in July music series, save the dates, free for the family. Bring lawn chairs, blankets, coolers, food trucks, vendors on site. And again, that's going on at Reservoir Park. Again, the band shell that's located at One Concert Drive in Harrisburg. Saturday, July 5th, the Harrisburg Symphony Orchestra will be there. Sunday, July 6th, Mayor Williams Rising Star Youth Showcase. Sunday, July 13th, Gospel Night featuring Zach Williams. Saturday, July 19th, which I think I'm going to attend, Jazz Under the Stars with Najee. I don't know what you know about him.
Yeah, I know about
Brother
Najee.
Rod. Okay.
Yeah.
Saturday, July 19th, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Jazz Under the Stars. I think I'll make my way there that night. And then Saturday, July 26th, the new Neo Soul Latin Fest, the original Lakeside Band is going to be there, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now, I don't know about them. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's that Lakeside. Come on and ride on a. Okay. They're going to be in the Harrisburg area. Again, that is July the 26th. And again, that's the July music series going on at Reservoir Park, Brother Ron.
Well, salute.
Whoop,
So
whoop.
you see you have a lot of activities coming up during the month of July here in the 717 Star City, Harrisburg. And so I hope you make plans to go out and be a part of these events. And they're all at the best price, too.
Bye.
Absolutely free.
FRE.
They're absolutely free. Okay, and so you bring your blankets, you bring your lawn chairs. I don't know if they have the benches set up again out there in front of that band shell, because I know they removed them a summer or two. And so make sure if you got some folding lawn chairs you can bring and set out up there on the hill, and or maybe bring some blankets and bring a little picnic basket, if you will. If it's just you want to go by Giants and get you some barbecue chicken, and go by there the day before, get your watermelon or honeydew melon or cantaloupe, put that in your refrigerator, get that nice and cold, and slice them bad boys up and wrap them up. Some aluminum foil and maybe some Tupperware and bring them out there and sit back and enjoy and be entertained by some fantastic musicians. And also make sure you take in the mayor's event where you'll see the young talent being shown. Okay, and so for Khaldun Scoop Rashid, our street reporter, I want to thank him for his very fine report. I want to thank Pastor Chris Thomas for his very timely, fascinating announcements. I want to thank Miss Trudy Johnson, Miss Johnson, for calling in to let us know about the unfortunate experiences she had with the towing company. She said they're at Cameron and Paxton Street, and I want to also salute Officer Bennett, Harrisburg's finest, of Harrisburg Police Department, for helping me get back my property from the Uber driver that inadvertently drove off with my property still in the trunk of his car. It was all returned this morning intact, and so I thank you, I salute you, and all of y'all be cool, enjoy this weather as much as you can. Make sure you're hydrated, drink a lot of water. Right now, as I always say, as I'm saying now, that's the best thing on a bartender's trade, that water, that water. So make sure you stay hydrated with juice and water, and be cool, and we hope to see you again. Have a great day.